to the 2023 Boyertown Area School District School Board Candidates Forum. My name is Shannon Omler, and I am the Communications Coordinator for St. John's. It's my pleasure to welcome you here tonight on behalf of our congregation and staff. At St. John's, we're committed to 4 core values, one of which is intentional relationships. Sponsoring tonight's forum is one way we are living that value. It is our desire to be invested and immersed in what's happening in our community and to take an active role within Boyertown. I am a graduate of Boyertown, and I have 2 children, one a recent graduate of Boyertown and the other a sophomore at the high school. I'm encouraged to see you here tonight also taking an active role in the future of our community and school district, and most importantly, the education of our students. Thank you to Mel Roth for serving as our timekeeper this evening. Thank you to Jim David Heiser, who will serve as our moderator. I want to make it clear that all 13 candidates that you see a place card for here tonight were invited to tonight's forum. We did not hear back from everyone, but we did hear from Krista Arndt, who could not attend due to business travel, and we heard from Jim Brophy, who could also not be here this evening. Each candidate will get 2 minutes, up to 2 minutes, for opening remarks. Questions submitted this evening are being consolidated, and they will be asked to each candidate, who will get 1 minute, up to 1 minute each. We decided to reduce that. It was at 2 minutes, but we have so many in attendance here tonight in order to get through more questions. Up to 1 minute is what they'll be allowed to answer in. And then we'll end the evening with closing remarks by each candidate, also up to 1 minute. Some housekeeping: kindly silence your cell phones if you haven't already. There are refreshments over to your left-hand side. Restrooms are located down the hallway on your left. And if you need to get up at any time during the forum, please walk to the back of the room and exit, or go to the refreshments that way instead of walking in front of the candidates. Thank you for taking the time to be here tonight, to stay connected to our community, and to remain informed about what's happening in our school district.
Thank you very much, and thank you to all the folks at St. John's for being so generous and hosting the event this evening. Thank you to Steve and the folks who organized this event. I am Jim David Heiser. I will be moderating. A quick note, just full disclosure, because I think it's always important in a small community. I am a Boyertown Township Commissioner. However, tonight I am not representing Boyertown Township. I'm strictly a Boyertown Area School District resident. I think it's always good to be specific about those things. In a minute, we will be introducing the candidates, and when they make their opening comments, they will be going in an order that were selected. They just pulled playing cards. They're not going to play poker, I don't think. They did pull cards to determine who would be going first, etc. We have various questions that have already been submitted by the audience. There are additional green cards up there in the corner table if you'd like to write down a question. We try real hard not to duplicate questions, and sometimes time is an issue. So if we don't ask the question that you submitted, that does not mean that we arbitrarily or selectively omitted that question. It's simply that we ran out of time. The format was already discussed, but I want to reiterate: opening statements will be a maximum of 2 minutes, and answers to questions will be limited to 1 minute. And at the conclusion of the evening, each candidate will have the opportunity to make closing comments with a maximum of 1 minute. I would also ask that you hold your applause, please, until the end of the evening. And that way there's no disruptions during the course of the event. We generally try to end this about 9 p.m. So once again, if we do not get to some questions or whatever, it could be that we just ran into the curfew situation. You see all the names of the candidates. There are 13 individuals who are on the school board ballot for next Tuesday's primary election. 9 of the 13 are here with us this evening. So rather than going through the introduction of each one and then repeating that, I'm simply going to ask each candidate to make their opening comments, and that way you'll get that introduction in encapsulated form, so to speak. So we're going to start this evening with, and once again reminding you, you have 2 minutes for that those opening comments, and timekeeper Mel will give you the gong or something if you're out of time.
I'm going to
Kindly.
lay my hand down at 30 seconds so that you know where you are in your time. But when you hit your time limit, I will say stop. And so you'll have to stop at that point, even if you aren't done with your answer. And don't shoot arrows at me. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mel. Our first candidate to provide an opening comments this evening is Wendy Kratz. You had number 2 card, right?
Yeah.
That's because we didn't have a number 1 card. No. Just for the record, I asked Doc Tribbett to give me a number 1 card, and he left me down. I'm kidding, Doc. Okay, by the way, you didn't lose any time. She didn't start the
I
timer.
didn't want to take anyone's spot. Okay.
Wendy Kratz.
Thank you. Good evening, and thank you for attending tonight's candidate forum. My name is Wendy Kratz, and I'm going to keep my opening remarks on the short side because I'm an introvert. I don't like the spotlight, and I prefer to see it shining on others, like our wonderful students in Boyertown. I do, however, think it's important to vote, and as voters to learn as much as you can about the issues and candidates before voting. So that's why I'm here for you. You're welcome. My husband, Kevin, and I moved into Boyertown a little over 10 years ago with our twin boys, Cole and Cameron. It's hard for us to believe that those little boys we brought here with us just graduated with the class of 2022. So as a parent of recent graduates, I am now in a position where I can reflect on the entirety of the Boyertown educational experience from elementary school through high school. I'm happy to report that I have much to be thankful for as I look back, especially all the wonderful teachers and coaches who encouraged my sons along their journey as Boyertown students. Some of them even became my friends along the way. Boyertown, however, is a large district, and even with my teaching background, I sometimes found it overwhelming at times to learn the ropes as a parent and figure out how to best advocate for my children. If elected, I would love to be able to help younger families navigate this system. You could think of me as your mom mentor on the board. You're welcome.
Thank you. Please hold your calls. I know it's automatic, but we're going to ask you to hold it until the end of the night. I'm sorry. Our next candidate with introductory remarks is Michelle Swiceford.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. My name is Michelle Swiceford, and I wanted to thank Jim and St. John's Church for hosting this event tonight. A little bit about my background. I am a Region 1 candidate for the 2-year seat. I have lived in the district for 22 years. It's hard to believe that time went that fast. I have 2 children who attended Boyertown schools, K through 12. One of them is here tonight, and I'm so appreciative. My career in the last 25 years has been in the insurance industry. I spend a lot of my focus on the nonprofit accounts, specifically human services accounts that I budget plan for, manage insurance programs for, and risk control services. I am running for the school board because Boyertown community is extremely important to me, and it has been to my family since we moved here. I would like to see every child and every family have the same experience in education that my children have had with Boyertown teachers and administrators. And I believe together with the other school board candidates that we can continue to make Boyertown one of the best school districts for all the children in our community.
Thank you. Next, opening comments by Jessica Skelton.
Hi, I'm Jessica Skelton, and I'm a resident in New Hanover Township for going on 15 years in June. That's my anniversary. I am a financial planner. I've been in the financial services industry for over 30 years in many different roles, from assisting an advisor to becoming an advisor myself, to training advisors, to negotiating contracts, to giving presentations for continuing education, all kinds of things. Why am I running? Because I'm a homeschooled mom. Does that make sense to anybody? It doesn't make sense to most of my critics. But I'm a homeschooler that used to have a child in the district for first grade. We removed her from the district just for the need for an extended absence. When we came back, COVID had started. We couldn't put her back in at that point, so we kept her in the cyber program. So I am also experienced in cyber school, which is pulling a lot of money away from our district. And then after a couple of years, we decided to homeschool because we were having a little bit of a problem getting the information that we need to feel comfortable getting her back into the district, which is what we do want to do. I find myself complaining a little bit, maybe a lot sometimes, and I'm a firm believer that if you're going to complain, you need to offer some solutions. So I thought it's time to get involved, start offering some solutions, see what we can do to increase transparency and the communication from our administration to our families, and also see what we can do with fiscal responsibility, because I'm also a taxpayer, and that's really where I started paying attention until I had a child. So hopefully I can take all the experience that I have and the desire that I have to get my child back into the district to do something good for our community and our school district and the families in it.
Thank you. Next, opening comments by Matt Hook.
How you doing, everybody? My name is Matt Hook. I'm running for the Region 3 School Board Director position. Just want to tell you guys a little bit about why I decided to run, what I do, why I love Boyertown, what I believe in, just so that you guys know. I decided to run for this position before I knew anything about the local school board, so just putting that out there. I do, however, work in the field of education, and I've been in special education specifically for about 20 years. So from my perspective, I felt like, okay, I have a little bit of, I have some experience to offer, and I'm also a parent in the district, and I care about the schools. I have two little guys, one's little, one's big, that are in school. I always say that. And both of them have different kinds of needs. So I've been an advocate for my own children, and I'm also, when I go to work, I try to be an advocate for the kids that I work at. I don't think of this as a political position. I was not affiliated with any party before I decided to do this. I was independent because I have my own values and I don't like to attach on any others. I also like to meet people where they are, and okay, sorry.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. I like to meet people where they are, and that's what I do for a living. So I would like to coordinate, I'd like to collaborate, and I'd like to continue to help Boyertown have the best possible schools, and hopefully push us forward into the future. And my real goal is that we will have blue ribbon schools in this area, and I have ideas.
Thank you. Next, opening comments by Lisa Hogan.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Lisa Hogan.
Hold on.
Oh, sure.
I'm going to give you fair time for the almost vote count.
That's okay.
Okay, now go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Lisa Hogan. I am an incumbent, so I was first elected to the board in 2019. I reside in Region 2, which is where I'm running, and I am a parent. I have 4 children, 2 graduates, a 2018 and 2019, and a 5th grader and a 10th grader, so very busy. I think a lot of you may know of me, you've seen board meetings, you've seen kind of like where I'm at. So I just wanted to read the vision statement of the district, and that's to cultivate an exceptional, innovative learning community that enables all students to succeed in a changing world. Everything I do in the boardroom, and anything I do outside the boardroom that's school board related, is really geared towards furthering that vision and making that vision a true statement. And someday we'll be able to just, call that our mission statement, because it's exactly what we're doing. And in order to do that, I think in order to reach that goal, we need to have responsible and collaborative leadership. So I believe in collaborating. I work with people who have very different views than me. I believe in listening to everybody. I believe that everyone, a representative government should represent the people. So if you email me, I try to return that. If you reach out to me, I try to make sure that I get back to you. So I'm gonna leave it there just because I'm running out of time. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, opening comments by Mary Ann Scott.
Hi everyone, my name is Mary Ann Scott and I have been on the board. I was appointed to the board last January of '22. I've been a member or a part of the Boyertown community for about 35 years. We moved here in around 1989, I think it was. I have experience in the education sector in administration. And that gave me an inside bird's eye view of how day-to-day operations happen amongst administrators, with teachers, and with students. It was a smaller size school, so nothing like here, but you still have the day-to-day that goes on. That very many things are similar. So that does help a lot when I'm looking at situations. I'm also one that does reach across the aisle. I don't like to get stuck and not be able to talk to someone because we might be different. So I am very open to the others on the board, and I think that they have seen that. I also was a successful business owner for 25 years, and when you work for yourself, you have to do it. So I built this mindset of get it done, let's not delay, and I am a self-starter. And in doing that, you design your own plans, you execute them for your strategies, and that will work, and some don't, but you still push at it. So those types of things I bring to the board, and just want you to know, I think Boyertown School has everything we need and every right resource we need to be one of the best schools, and that is a vision that I have and a goal that I have and a desire in my heart that our kids are well-educated, well-rounded, and a part, and come back to this community and give back to it too. Boyertown is awesome.
Thank you. Next, opening comments by Brad Updegrove.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brad Updegrove. I'm running in Region 3. Yes, I am related to Roger. We unfortunately just met each other tonight. And we are not twins, we're just cousins. So I will just clear up that confusion now. I've been in Boyertown most of my life. I'm a '95 graduate. I have 2 kids in the district now. They're both in elementary school. I used to work in the e-commerce world where I did all kinds of things with settlements, contracts, dealing with large groups of people, and I always tried to find a way to find a common ground in order to get success out of that. So I think I have that experience that I could bring to the group. I'm not here to shake things up. I'm not here to change the world. I think Boyertown is great. I think we're running in the right direction, as many people have said. I just don't want it to kind of go off the rails with some of these over-the-top issues that I don't really even think are issues at the school. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, opening comments by Roger Updegrove.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I'm Roger Updegrove. I'm already on the board. I got on in 19. As now I'm vice president on the board. A little bit of my background has been that actually, our mom and dad's went to Boyertown. And me and my wife both graduated from Boyertown. I had two girls in Boyertown that graduated. I graduated from the BCTC in Ole as a machinist, tool, and die maker. I had my own business for 25 years. And I really sat in the audience back in probably like 2017 and 18, where you're sitting right now, and I realized the school was heading in the wrong direction. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get on, to try and make our fiscal problem be able to support the students in the school. So that was one of the reasons I wanted our proficiency rate to go up and to be a solid member of the board and do whatever it takes to get the kids a great education like I got. And that's one of the drives that I am seriously interested. I also drive bus for the school district and van and all that stuff, so I'm well interested in the school district. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, opening comments by Joe Piccioni. And did I pronounce that correctly?
It's good enough.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming out. Thank you to St. John's for hosting us. My name is Joe Piccioni. I live in Douglas Township, Montgomery County. I have two children in the district, a third and a fifth grader, that both go to Gilbertsville Elementary. And it would be easy to say that they're why I'm running, but I think as a board member, or hopefully future board member, I should care about the schools, not just because they affect my children. I'm here and running because all of our children deserve better representation. Having worked with kids as a history teacher and a coach for most of the last 20 years, I've seen firsthand in Boyertown itself and elsewhere what a high education can look like, and believe that this district has the potential to be even better and to improve from some of the things we've lost. But we have lost things. We have a teacher shortage. We have staff that haven't been replaced. We have a middle school foreign language program that was cut. We have students spending time in the auditorium instead of classrooms because we don't have enough subs. And really none of that is what a high quality school district should be doing. And to kind of take a little bit from Lisa, she stole my thunder with the vision statement to cultivate that exceptional, innovative learning community that enables all students to succeed in a changing world. And I don't think that we can say that we're living up to that as much as we should. And I promise, if elected, that that's the thing that's going to be at the forefront of my mind. And the question that I'll ask of every decision that's asked of me is, how will this decision help fulfill that mission and make this the best possible school district for the students that attend it?
Thank you. Now, the million-dollar question, did I miss anyone? Okay, that's good. Okay, we're going to start the questions now. These have been submitted by folks in the audience, and each candidate will have 1 minute, maximum 60 seconds to answer. This is a two-pronged question. What would be your first priority if you're elected or re-elected? And what is the biggest issue facing the district today? What would be your first priority if elected, and what do you see as the biggest issue facing the district today? We will begin with Ms. Kratz.